Alrighty folks, thanks for tuning in. Today's an exciting video. As you can see, I have another kayak, one I've been waiting on, and been fortunate enough that one of my buddies had it and let me do a review on it. Not only that, he gave me some great feedback because he does own both. This is the Topwater 120 and he owns the Sportsman PDL 120. So just a quick introduction on this kayak. It's an Old Town kayak. Again, it's the Topwater 120. It's a sit-on-top fishing kayak. It weighs 82 pounds. It has a 500-pound weight capacity, which is a lot. 12 feet long, just like the Sportsman 120. It's 33.5 inches wide, and this retails for $1,150. So not cheap, but I think you're getting your money's worth, and I'm going to tell you why. It's made out of the same material as the Sportsman PDL 120, which is a single layer polyethylene. And some of the pros, okay, first it's Old Town. It's a great company, but even better warranty. It's a lifetime hull warranty. It has that same U-shaped hull, makes the kayak super stable. It's lightweight, again, it's 82 pounds. That one is a little under 120. So a substantial weight difference, and that one's because of the pedal drive and the hardware. This one comes with rod holders. There's 3, one in the front and then 2 rear facing. It has track mounts similar to the Sportsman PDL 120, one on each side. It has this hull storage, which is great. It's huge. Put a lot of stuff in here. You can probably put rods as well. And it has that same water seal on the lid, and it has that same one-handed close operation. So this is a paddle kayak, so there's no cutout here for the pedal drive. What you have are these foot pedals, and they're easily adjustable. You just pull that, and they're pretty long. So whether you're tall or super short, I think this would accommodate you. It's got that nice EVA deck foam, which is super comfortable. It's got a stand-up assist rope, which is cool. It's got the universal transducer mount. The seat, so we'll talk more about this because it's a pro and it's a con as well. The pro is that you can adjust it. It's got 2 levels, easy to do. They just pop in here. The PDL 120 does not have seat height adjusters. But you can always just add seat risers, but this is just a nice feature to have. It's got plenty of under the seat storage. And I actually like this better than the 120 because it's a lot wider under here. I could put Plano tackle boxes. And it's got side storage here, which is nice. The Sportsman, let me just show you. And if you watch my review of this kayak, I talk about that more in detail. Let me just show you that, okay, compared to this. Huge difference. It's got a cup holder, built-in cup holder, which is nice. Huge tank well back here. I think that's just one of the features of Old Town kayaks. This is nice. I mean, you could put a big crate. You can put your cart back here. It's just nice to have. It's got this awkward offset handle. And as you can see, no rudder. Let's talk about some of the negatives. And this is based on things I've read on social media, but then also talking to my buddy who owns this. He says the hardware on this seat comes off very easily, which is annoying. And if you're paying $1,150 for a kayak, you don't expect, screws and bolts to easily come off. And just the overall consensus is this is an inferior seat. There's a bar back here that seems to bother a lot of folks when they sit down, and so you're going to have to get some type of cushion. And as you can see, the Sportsman seat just looks sturdier. It's got more cushion. So I think a lot of folks that buy this seat or buy this kayak end up either switching to the Predator or the Sportsman seat over there. This gets blown around easier in the wind. It's a lighter kayak. It's a little bit more narrow. Still stable. But when you compare it to that, tough too, because again, you're paddling versus pedaling. And then this rear offset handle, it's just in an awkward position. One, there's only one handle. Typically need two hands to lift this. And you know, I think they made a smart move here by adding two handles underneath here. So this just really serves no purpose. Okay, so let's compare the two kayaks. So the paddle versus the pedal. You know, this paddle kayak does serve a purpose. If you intend to just paddle only, you're fishing smaller bodies of water, or let's say you want to put a motor on it. You have no interest in pedaling. You know, let's say you have some physical limitations or you just want a motor. Then it makes sense to me to get this. One, it's cheaper, it's lighter. You know, it has all of the same characteristics that I think would make this a good option to mount a motor, right? It's got all the spacing back here. It's got the open hole for easy wiring. And again, it's $1,200. This kayak is more than double that kayak. 82 pounds versus 116 pounds, which equates to easier loading and unloading. And, you know, the seat, talked about some of the negatives, but one of the pros is obviously the height adjustment. We don't have that here. We have to use risers, okay, if you want to make it higher. Some cons. Okay, it's going to sound like there's a lot of negatives, but that's just because you're paying more than double for this kayak. Okay, $1,150, and then you got to pay another $1,200 to get the Sportsman PDL 120. That's a lot of money. It's not as stable. It's 33.5 inches versus 36. But again, I think both are super stable. I mean, that's one of the selling features. It goes with the width of the kayak, but then also that U-shaped hull design. So you're giving up a little bit of speed, in my opinion, for stability. But it all really depends on, you know, what priorities you have in picking a kayak. This one, again, I mentioned it's more susceptible to wind. The seat is definitely a downgrade. And as you can see, there's no cutout. If you decide later on that you want to pedal drive, you're gonna have to get a new kayak. The opening, this is minor, but maybe a big deal for some. The opening for this is much smaller than this. So depending on what types of things you want to put in there, you may not be able to because the opening is substantially smaller. It does not come with a rudder. Okay, the Sportsman PDL comes with the rudder. This one does not. Although there's a side pocket here, which is nice, but there's nothing here on this side or that side. You know, as you can see here, I got one there and one there. They come in handy. I use them a lot. But that's it. I mean, both are very stable, well-built kayaks from a reputable company. And again, the lifetime haul warranty, whether you get this one or this one, gives you some peace of mind. They both have 500-pound weight capacities, which is a lot for a kayak. And this one actually probably holds even more because they have the same weight capacity, but you don't have the weight of the pedal drive, the seats, and the hardware are probably heavier on this kayak. This is still a great option. If your budget is $1,150 or $1,200, then I would say go with it. It's a great kayak. If you're fishing in smaller bodies of water, this may, you know, be a better choice. Again, the Topwater 120 and then the Sportsman PDL 120. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below. As always, thanks again for watching. And until next time, take care.